In the 1980s, the automotive world was locked in a Cold War between Stuttgart and Maranello. The conflict was centered on a single specific objective: becoming the first production car to cross the 315 km/h barrier. Porsche's entry was the 959. It arrived looking less like a traditional sports car and more like a laboratory on wheels, packed with technology that didn't yet exist in the rest of the industry. It weighed 1,450 kilograms, heavy for the era, yet it was engineered to be a quiet, leather-lined grand tourer that could sustain massive speeds in total comfort. The secret was a computerized all-wheel drive system called PSK. It shifted torque between wheels in a fraction of a second, paired with sequential twin turbos. It monitored grip in real time, instantly correcting mistakes before the driver even realized. With a top speed of 317 km/h, Porsche proved that the laws of physics could be managed through calculation and complex software. When Enzo Ferrari saw the 959 take the speed record, he viewed it as a direct insult to Italian engineering. With the company's 40th anniversary looming, he ordered his team to build a car that would reclaim the title at any cost. The result was the F40, a twin-turbocharged V8 machine that produced 478 horsepower and looked like a race car that had escaped the track. The F40 hit 320 km/h. It officially broke the record, becoming the first production car to pass the 200-mile-per-hour mark. News of the record reached Stuttgart immediately. The Porsche engineers didn't understand how Ferrari had beaten their computers, so they began a systematic teardown of the F40's data to find the innovation they had missed. The German engineers expected to find a new breakthrough in aerodynamics or engine management. Instead, as they looked closer at the F40's construction, their confusion turned into mockery. Ferrari hadn't out-engineered the 959. They had simply removed every single component that wasn't strictly necessary to make the car move forward. The list of missing parts was staggering for a flagship car. No power steering, no anti-lock brakes, no carpets, and no radio. They didn't even use glass for the side windows. They used sliding plastic panels to save weight, which meant the windows couldn't even roll down. The most famous example of this extreme weight cutting was the door release. There was no handle. The driver had to pull on a simple exposed steel cable to get out of the car. To the Porsche team, this wasn't a technological rival. It was an 1,100-kilogram hollow shell with a massive engine, succeeding only because it was too empty to be heavy. This creates a divide in automotive philosophy that persists to this day. Is a car better because it uses technology to solve problems, or because it removes technology to avoid them? The engineers in Stuttgart argued that Ferrari had simply evaded the challenge. By striking the cabin, they didn't have to figure out how to make a heavy, safe, and comfortable car go 320 km/h. This chart highlights the gap. The 959 had to overcome an extra 350 kilograms of safety and luxury equipment, whereas the Ferrari was essentially a turbocharged frame. However, purists argued that the F40 was the superior experience, precisely because it was so difficult to drive. Without computer intervention, the car was notoriously dangerous, requiring professional-level skill to handle a simple corner in the rain. Ferrari's solution was to replace the electronic safety net with a direct, unassisted connection between the driver and the road. At the time, Ferrari won the cultural battle. The F40's aggressive look and raw reputation made it the definitive icon of the decade. But if we look at the hypercars produced in the decades since, the long-term winner of this engineering war becomes clear. Today's fastest cars, from the Bugatti Chiron to the Nissan GT-R, do not follow the Ferrari's path of stripping the interior and using pull cables for doors. Instead, they are heavy, highly sophisticated machines. They use the same concepts Porsche introduced in 1986: all-wheel drive, active aerodynamics, and computers that manage traction thousands of times per second. The F40 was the final, extreme peak of a manual way of building cars that was about to be overtaken by the digital age. While Ferrari built a machine that celebrated the mechanical past, the Porsche 959 provided the technical framework that every modern high-performance car now uses.